Okay. Captain's log, January 22nd, 2025. I don't know what to say yet. Um, Today is probably the lightest my mood has been during this bout of illness. And that's really nice. Um, I think with having a little bit more mental clarity, I got a little caught up in like some tasks today because I had energy for it. A thing that I do is I like spend, I have no idea how much time curating a grocery list for grocery delivery or a pickup order. And then I don't place the order or I save everything for later. So I did that. So my grocery order is nearly ready. Um, I found out you can use an EBT card on Target as well as Amazon, Whole Foods. I don't know. When I can get out and about, I'll go somewhere else. But that's that. I'm sitting at my keyboard. Today I drew this card about having fun, and I don't know, this is fun. I got one of these from my mom for Mother's Day when I was in high school at the mall. It was called the Tingler. I think it was from Bath and Body Works. I wonder if my parents still have it. It feels a lot better when someone else says it to you because it's like somehow surprises your head and you get chills. But I still like to do it myself, a little scalp massage. It's rising up. Yeah. So I'm obviously to myself feeling better. I feel it when I smile. That's like one of the signals that I like tell myself when I like something. I can tell if I'm smiling or laughing about it. Oh, I just covered the mic with my hand. I have this little mic right here. I try to hide it. It looks like a little caterpillar. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to have fun today. So I made a list of 10 things that I like to do just for fun. And number 10 was this vlogging. Like, even if I don't share it anywhere, which I do that a lot, I make videos and just delete them right away. Or maybe I watch them and forget about them, or don't watch them. It helps me to like speak out loud and verbally process. It's kind of like a voice note or a voice journal, or like talking to myself in the car. It kind of helps me practice, yeah, just speaking without a filter. Good luck to me. Um, I didn't need to be self deprecating. But I did like a series actually, like I think maybe a year ago, where I tried to vlog 30 days in a row. It was a very revealing experience. It was maybe 2 years ago now that I think about it. Who knows? But that helped me, and I do find it to be rather fun. It kind of feels like I'm hanging out with myself, like uh, there aren't any. There's not like social energy to navigate. So, not that that's necessarily good or bad. It's just different that I can be like talking about whatever. It's even kind of like therapy. I can like go down different thought trails and be like, whatever. Yeah, but I'm laughing and smiling today, so I guess I'm having fun. And I'm sitting at my keyboard because singing and playing piano and playing music can be really fun to me, but I'm noticing that I'm frowning, so I don't think I'm actually in the mood for it. So maybe I will not do that. Well, maybe my fingers feel like doing it. I also today found out that recovered a nice quality microphone that it's like gold and has a little stand. It's next to me, but I don't want to take it out of the box right now. But I can like plug it directly into my computer. And I also realized there's a cord that can connect my keyboard directly to my computer. So I am excited about being able to record some more high quality music, because usually most of the music I've recorded is either on a voice note on my phone, just with my phone audio, or on a video. Even like with this microphone, it sounds a little better, but it's not like, yeah, it's not studio quality. I also need to remember that I have friends and neighbors and people who have like recording equipment and can help me. But that feels so vulnerable. I think doing it by myself sounds like, I was going to say more fun, air quotes, but also it's a lot more administrative work, which I don't like, and takes energy and takes time. Whereas like somebody who's really fast at it would just be like, beep, beep, boop, bop, bop, but don't do this. And I like being self-sufficient, and I'm not very self-sufficient in many areas of my life right now. This is my verbal processing going, so maybe I do want an area where I can just be totally self-sufficient. In fact, that reminds me, I've been publishing some random writings to my blog recently. I don't need to do that while I'm being recorded. But I was going to post another one. Oh yeah, I had this idea. I was thinking about like, what would I use besides music? Like, what would I use this mic for? Because I was thinking about doing a podcast, and I had like sketched out so many plans for it. Like, I actually even scheduled 3 interviews and had all the topics, and it was a very niche idea that I still think is a good idea. But I was taking on too much and I couldn't handle it at the time. So it's kind of on the back burner. But I was also like, okay, here I am all this time. I find it fun to talk. I think I have interesting things to say. I mean, really, I do have a lot of life experience, some of which is unique, some of it is not, or whatever. Some of it's shared, some of it's through the lens of my particular collection of experiences. But I know that I have things to say. It's also very freeing as a neurodivergent person to just be able to say things the way that I say them, and like lose track of my thoughts or be silly or be like moving my hands or whatever, and just let that be, like just be unmasked. And it kind of affirms to myself like I still have insightful things to say and write, you know, even though I am 34 years old and I have a stuffed animal, for example. I had a little stint on TikTok. It might be over. I mean, it never was something wild, but one of my little block is me holding Cam is a cat dressed as a bat. Squishmallows are pretty cool. This is the only one I've ever had myself, but like it's also a very nice pillow, so sometimes I just use it to prop up my head. Okay, I guess this doesn't need to be that long, but yeah, I got on here. Well, I guess my captain's log idea was supposed to be about my chronic illness. I mean, clearly I'm more cheerful today and I have more energy today. Um, which, to be honest, kind of freaks me out. Yeah, okay, getting into the meaty stuff now. Um, yeah, I mean, I worry that a criticism or warning or feedback I get from other people, a thought in my head is like, don't do too much too fast, like, don't overcommit, like, be careful. I I'm a projector in human design, and a lot of the things that I've read about projectors are like having ebbs and flow of energy and trusting that. And then there's a balance. Like, I don't judge that part of myself. Well, I can. But I also know that, like, I don't know, that's just been my life. Like, there are periods of time that I have so much physical, mental energy, social capacity, excitement, vibrance. Like, I just want to be doing stuff. And slowing down is hard for a lot of reasons. I've gotten a lot of practice right now. One of the reasons that slowing down can be really hard for me is because of my chronic fatigue and chronic pain. That, like, when I slow down and get still, I'm like, damn it, I feel like shit. Like, I don't want to feel that, you know? And I'm so, like, stimulated and excited about projects and people and things and plans and ideas that I just want to do them all. And I can't do everything at once, I know that. But I do have like a pretty marvelous capacity to do many things at times. And my heart is beating fast now. I got worked up about this. But yeah, I mean, that can lead to me, well, it does, I guess, like having periods of burnout. But it also is like, I want to live my life, like when something excites me, I want to say yes. When my body is like lifted and I smile and I'm like, yeah. And there's someone else that wants to do something that I've wanted to do. Maybe it's a new idea, maybe it's like an old idea I've had that's coming to life. I want to do all the things, especially in like this political landscape, whatever. That's a throwaway phrase, but it sort of encapsulates the horrors. Now I'm thinking about the horrors. Okay. I come back to right here, right. So yeah, I want to do all the things. And then when I'm feeling less energy, less capacity, I do get into these periods of times, kind of like right now, which could be worse. It could be worse. It's been pretty hard, but it could be worse. Where I have like all these, balls up in the air, or whatever, and I don't know, as more invitations come in, and also with what I have on my plate, I don't know what commitments I'll be able to keep. So it's like, I think why I feel like hesitant about feeling a little better today is I'm like, oh my God, now I can like resume everything and start more new projects. And also, I really need to figure out how to make an income, and also like, I haven't been able to move my body and I want to go to a dance class and I want to like go on a hike and, you know, do all of these things. And I don't think that that's bad. And I also can see that the extremes of that pattern are not working. I remember one time my therapist suggested, like, well, now I guess I don't really remember, but some notion of like resting even when you don't need to rest, or saying no even if you do have the energy and do want to do something. Just saying no to like say no. And I sometimes am good at that. My friends say that I'm very good at boundaries. I do think I have learned a lot and practiced them and model them. And I also, when I get really hyped about something, it's hard to slow me down. I don't want to say no to the things I'm excited about. And I also am just realizing, like, I know that I don't have the capacity to say yes to everything that's cool because there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, just from a logistical, practical standpoint, an example for myself is like, oh, if I was invited to like teach a class in the morning and host an event in the afternoon and then go to an event at night to support someone, and there was like barely enough time between the day to like change clothes or eat meals or whatever, there have definitely been days in my life with even more than that, more than 3 things like that, where I've said yes to all of it and done it, and I'm like, yes. Or I get there and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so overstimulated. But it's like, I want to be able to do that, and I also have to realize what my limits are. But my limits change. That's what's hard. And also, I do get to places like this moment, like these past however many days, 10 days really, where like my health is in a very concerning place. And it's so confusing because, like, I have follow up appointments, concerns, theories, medical conditions, symptoms that, like, there's a few diagnoses that I'm expecting to get that make sense. And there are some ideas of, like, there are other things that need to be tested, other things that are wrong that might signify something. So it's all like this muddled mess. There's probably not going to be like one aha moment because I already have so many like co-occurring conditions. And even if I didn't get any more diagnoses, like, okay, I experience heart palpitations regularly and arrhythmias, and um, need to manage that part of my nervous system, and I have chronic fatigue, and I have everything else that I have. Um, it's so overwhelming. I mean, even just having ADHD and autism is like, whoa. I'm not just going to list my diagnoses right now, even though I'm tempted to, but it's like there is a lot going on for me to exist. And I think that's one reason why like my chronic health is, I was going to say manageable, has been manageable most of my life. Well, that's not true. A reason that One reason I've had periods of time where I'm doing very well and functioning very well is because I've picked up so many tools along the way of how to care for different things I learn about myself that I need through different lenses. Whether it's like, yeah, recovery or mental health or physical health conditions, like, oh, I generally do best if, I have this type of sleep hygiene or this kind of morning routine or whatever. And my needs change over time, which is confusing. uh, it's like a joke, but it's real that I'm always looking for this like perfect formula for like how to live my life most, I don't want to say efficiently, but like effectively, like how to manage my wellness, I guess. And I like that it changes. It would be so boring if I had the same routines for my entire life and I was just like, this is working great. Like I wouldn't want that to be my life. But anyway, it's exhausting. But I think that it's hard not to have like some negative self-talk when I get to a place like I'm in now, where I'm like, okay, I need to make more lifestyle changes and I need to ask for more help. I need more help than I want to need. Um, so it's like there's some guilt and shame, but like the biggest thing is that I'm like, I can have these thoughts of blaming myself for getting where I am. Oh, the reason that I'm burnt out is because I overdid it. Or the reason, I mean, like the reason that my pulse has been so high is because I have not managed my stress levels well. Totally unhelpful. It is helpful to be reflective and to identify patterns, but it's like I'm not capable of perfectly navigating all of the things that make it hard for me to be alive. And like be at my best. So I'm going to tell myself that I'm doing the best I can. And sometimes I'm really disappointed by that because I want to be doing better than what my best is. But that's one of the reasons I really like looking back at my old journals. Every time I read them, I have so much compassion for my younger self because even without all the context of the things I may not remember or that aren't written down, when I read my journal, I'm like, I can tell that I was doing my best on that day with what I had and what I knew. Sometimes I'm like, damn, you're wise. Sometimes I'm like, oh no, you're like really missing some things. It's usually a mix, but yeah, it's just it's a freaky time. It's a freaky time. I have so much internalized capitalism and it's scary to be a trans and queer person in America right now. Uh, and yeah, uh, I don't need to list this every time I do a voice journal, but I just think like the global collective suffering that's happening, environmental disaster, etc., 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 is a lot, and so I want to be doing like everything I can. I want to be doing everything I can, you know. And I know that I sometimes take on things that maybe aren't my job or people aren't asking me to do. Maybe not always doing everything for the right reason, whatever. But I think I'm just so. The idea of karma just came into my mind. I do. This can be both beautiful and problematic depending how I look at it. But like, I do have this sense that I like owe something to the world. Uh, and I know that I don't have like deep rooted understanding of karma, but the idea that I first learned of karma, which I think has been very westernized, is like, what you put into the world, you give back. It's more complicated than that. But I think that I've received so much help from people and the world and my life to this point that I still every day am so shocked that I am alive. Like, I just never thought I would make it to this age. I never thought I could be, I was going to say happy, but like, despite all the things that are hard, like, I continue to be better than I've ever been and have new experiences, and I don't take for granted that like it took a lot of people to get me here. And so it's not like I think of it as a super simple exchange of like that happened, now I owe everyone back, but I want to pass it on. And I also want my experiences to mean something. I know that they do, you know. When I get to a really dark place, um, I sometimes ask myself, like, am I happy with, if today was my last day, like, would I be okay with what I've left behind? And even at my worst, the answer is almost always yes. Then I'm like, yeah, like, I made a lot of mistakes, and I like loved people and cared for people and grew, and um, we help each other grow. I mean, I think that for me, that's like one of the simplest ways I can phrase it in English, at least, is just like, I think that's why we're here, is to help each other grow. People have helped me grow, I've helped them grow, we help each other grow, we see how we don't want to grow, examples of what we don't want to do. When we hurt each other, harm each other, experience pain, it leads us to situations where we get to heal and do it something new and learn about ourselves, and then be able to, and then other people witness that and they see how they can grow, and we're all just, that's it. And that is the point of life. So, okay. As this is coming up on 30 minutes, I think I'll wrap it up. But yeah, there's no point. There was no outline. This is not a speech. I'm kind of noticing that yesterday when I was recording my first captain's log, I wasn't really thinking I was actually going to upload it, but I did. But I just noticed the way that I was speaking. This kind of does feel like I was talking to something meant for an audience. That's okay. I like to sit here at my window because I can just look at all the trees and clouds. And I think that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Gonna have some fun. I do kind of feel like I overdid it. My brain is now feeling pretty tired. I think I just went a lot of places in my brain. So, new practice the past many weeks is that I do generally take some kind of nap or like reclined meditation with my sleeping mask on sometime between midday, between 11 a.m. and probably 6 p.m., somewhere in there, when I'm like, okay, I think I've reached that time. And I have a friend coming over to watch TV. I hate watching TV by myself. I hate it. Movies I can watch by myself. I hate watching TV by myself, but it's something I realize that can be fun with another person because you can talk about it and sit down. So I'm gonna try it again. Until next time.